All right, welcome back. Thank you all for joining me again. Today I'm sharing my truth on a different topic, why I chose to retire at 35 with no money, no savings, no any of that. And I'm just gonna share with you this is just about my truth, nothing more, nothing less. Um, First of all, I want to say that it was unclear to me as I was doing it, what I was actually doing. I was kind of just going with the flow of my life and feeling it out, seeing where it would take me. And it was about 4 years that I actually realized, oh, hey, like, why don't I just say that I'm retired? I'm never going back to a 40-hour work week, never going back to 9 to 5. Don't ever, never had a 401k or any of that. So why not just call it what I'd like to refer to as retired, at 35 with no money. um, I left my stability. I was a director of multi-location gyms that my ex-partner owned. I left those in 2019. So that was the last time I had any kind of stable income, regular paychecks. Um, After that, I kind of ran a small group of clients part-time. Then I started to, lose those clients, and I lost the will and the drive to acquire more. I stopped advertising. I stopped running sales and programs and discounts and all that stuff. It didn't feel true to me. So I stopped doing it altogether, you know, and finally in 2023 is when I admitted, I'm retired. I'm not ever going back. I'm not ever doing that again to myself. And here's why. um, I constantly felt behind, constantly felt like I'll never save enough, I'll never have enough, I'll never work enough to have the things that everybody says that I need. Um, I worked full time and lived part time. Okay, like I don't know if that makes sense to you, but I worked full time and I lived part time. No savings in LA's economy, false American dream narrative, that if you work hard, if you save your money, you can buy a house and you can, retire at 65. And I was just seeing the writing on the wall for my life at least, and that didn't look true. My calculations were saying that that wasn't likely by the time I was 65. We're constantly being bombarded with advertisements to buy, 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 buy. We need this, we need this, we need this. And living in LA, you're surrounded by people that buy these things. And so you buy them to keep up. It's just, you're the sum total of all your influences around you. And so if all of everyone around me is buying this and buying that and having this and having that, then of course I'm going to be influenced to do it too. Um, so it was just a constant paycheck to paycheck, draining my wallet, just trying to keep up with the Joneses. um I had health issues, I had mental health issues, I had things that I needed to heal. I need healing basically, and not work. um and then I figured, if I healed myself, if I just took some time off, like a sabbatical, if I just took some time off and healed myself, I could always come back to work, and be better than ever. Um, but during that healing is when I realized I'm just not meant for that style of living anymore, of giving majority of my time to building a corporation or someone else's dream, or even my own dream and running my business. But it was just the system wasn't set up for small business owners, for women of color, and that's just the truth that I had to face. Um, and so the biggest thing is I decided that I would create and co-create with the universe. I would co-create my life, my abundance, my way. So that became my biggest driving force to retire uh, with no money and no real plan is because I believed in my ability to co-create the life that I dreamed of, not something else. And I will say that leaving LA, and in the last video I talked about living in my car and traveling, leaving LA was a huge part of why I knew I could do it. Because without all that influence and without all that money sucking, soul sucking, consumerism that's plagued that city, I was able to get out in nature and feel and figure out that I didn't even need or want most of those things that I was paying for constantly. You know, um, let's get into the shadow portion of it. Is it stressful? Yes. Heck yes. Times 1,000. Yes, it's stressful. But as I said in the last video, everything's stressful. It's stressful having a job. It's stressful making it to work on time. It's stressful having a boss and coworkers you don't really care for. Life is full of stresses. So at least this way, I was picking my stresses. I got to choose what kind of stress I had. So the stresses are little money. Let's just start with that. You're constantly worrying where your next money is going to come from. So there's that stress that you have. Um, if you're like me, I have a big issue. I had a big issue asking for help. So that was stressful for me to have to ask people for help, to have to seek help from other people, and to even receive it. Like, even when I didn't ask and people just offer, it was just, there's a pride and an unhealthy ego trait that I had that was like, well, what does it say about me that I need your help? And so that was a stress for me. Um, Other people's money. I started a podcast about this called Retired at 35 with No Money, and I had an episode titled OPM, Other People's Money. And it was talking about all the different ways that I had to find funding for my new lifestyle, from nonprofits to private organizations to government assistance, and it's a little bit stressful having to apply for all of these things just to get it. And then just working odd gigs here and there that sometimes they cancel same day. Sometimes they're not what you thought they were. So yeah, and then add to that I was also living in my vehicle traveling. So there was a lot of stress that I had to deal with. And then of course the stigma of not being productive. When you grow up in this society, in major cities also, I will say it's always a go 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 go. What are you doing? If you're not doing something, your time is you're worthless. You're lazy if you're not doing anything. And it's like, well, what if healing is me doing something? What is that? What if that's what I'm doing? And society's not set up for that. So that was a really big stress for me, is not doing anything, not being productive, not you know um but has it been rewarding? Triple, quadruple, quintuple, multiply it times infinity. Yes. The rewards, I cannot put a value, like I just can't. I can't speak enough about the rewards that come from being able to wake up every day and say, what am I going to do today? And not have to rush to work and not have to worry about getting whatever done on time, meeting a deadline, and not worrying about a boss. And I've had really great bosses too. That's the thing, is like every job that I've had, every career path that I've chosen, I've had excellent bosses. But I still don't want to have to answer to anybody but me. Sorry. I still never wanted to answer to anybody but myself. So time freedom, I think, is one of the most undervalued things on this planet. Is money you can always get more of. Time, however, you can never get that back. I will never be able to get years of my life back. But money, that's easy. If I wanted to right now, I could go get a job and make money back. But I can't reverse the clock and give myself any years back. So the idea that I was trading the best years of my life, I'm a young adult, an active young adult, and you want me to go sit in an office or do these tasks for money all day? And then when I get home, I can maybe see my friends for a few hours and then go to sleep and then wake up and do it all again? The reward of time, freedom, and wealth, time, wealth, and true abundance trumps it all. I'm sorry, but for me, trumps it all. May not be your truth, that's fine, but for me, trumps it all. Um, I've had to be creative and resourceful, and there's something that's rewarding about that. Having to figure out a piece to the puzzle and having to figure out how I'm going to do this and how I'm going to pay that, when you actually pull it off, man, that's a reward that you can't get from anywhere else, and it's solely for you. It was solely for me. You know, it wasn't someone else's win. It wasn't a corporate win. It wasn't a win for my team at work, and it wasn't for a bonus. It was like, man, that's another skill to add to my belt. So yeah, and the strength. Like, I talk about strength all the time. The strength and the resilience to fight the stigma and all of the societal norms that come with, you know, having a good job and career and all that stuff. It takes a lot of fortitude. It takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot of strength some days to just wake up and realize what I'm doing. But I've got a vision, you know. I've got a vision, and some of it is been moved from idea to reality already. And I'll share that in another video. But yeah, just travel, nature, new people, new experiences, living my life while I'm young enough to enjoy it, not giving my best years to a job, only to possibly have to keep working into my 70s, like I'm seeing some people. That that's a reward. You can't put a price on that. You can't evaluate that, you know? And so, hi. You can't see this, like this little cute dog. Just living my life my way every day. There's no greater reward. And again, this is not everybody's truth. I'm talking to people that value personal freedom and autonomy. This is my truth. And if you resonate with that, thank you for being here. I'm talking to you. Um, so, yeah, I hope this answers a question. Not that anybody asked, but hopefully this shines some light on what I'm doing. And maybe if you find yourself once again in the same position where you just want to do what you want with your life, but you feel like there's a program that's running in the back of your head that's telling you to do otherwise, I hope this encourages you to really go after it, because here we are from 2019 to 2025 without a stable paycheck, without a steady paycheck, and I'm still here. That lets you know it can be done. They want you to believe that it can't be done. They want you to believe that you need that money, you need that job. But I am living proof that you don't. All you need is faith in yourself, in your abilities, mindset. You need the knowing that you can do it. That whatever comes your way in a single day or even moment, if you want to break it down to moments, you can handle it. You can get through it. You can find a way. You can create a way. You're resourceful. You are strong. You are smart. You're intelligent. All things I've had to tell myself in the last 6 years. And it's true because I'm still here, you know, and I'm still joyful. You know, I was with a friend and I looked at a video of when I first started out my life, you know, in the vehicle, and I just saw so much sadness and so much life that had been sucked from my face. And now we both agree that with a little bit of time in it, I've overcome that. And now the joy is back. And now the life is back. All right. Well, I hope this helps you guys. I love you all and have a wonderful rest of your life.